Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Christian Esguera and welcome po sa ating Facts First episode ngayong Sabado. Meron po tayong special episode ngayong Sabado. Kahit normally hindi naman tayo dapat nagpo-programa ng Sabado. Today is May 17, 2025. Kung nakita niyo yung ating OBB, ganun pa rin, no? May kaugnayan pa rin po sa eleksyon yung ating pag-uusapan. Ito po panauhin natin ngayong araw, ngayong gabi. By the way, this is a recorded episode. We are recording this podcast at exactly 9:36 in the morning today. By the time na pinaparin nyo po ito, gabi na. Bandang 8:30. Okay? Kasi importanteng tao po yung kausap natin. Kailangan nating mag-adjust sa schedule niya dahil very, very in demand yan. Grabe yung booking niya na buong linggo. Sabi ko, pwede bang sumingit? Talk to my secretary. Nung tinanong ko yung secretary niya, sabi niya, Sir, mga nasa 136 kayo, pero kung maglalagay kayo, pwede kayo mag-jump to number 90. Ganun yung nangyari. So, hindi mo na ako naglagay, talaga ipinilit ko na lang yung sarili ko. Pinadalan ko siya ng StreamYard link. Sa ayaw at sa gusto mo, mag-uusap tayo ngayong araw. So, I'd like to welcome to our program, campaign strategist Alan Herman. Magandang araw, Alan. Magandang gabi. And thank you for joining us despite your very busy schedule.
Alam mo, Ian, magandang araw sa iyo at sa lahat ng Faxnatics. Ang first message na nais kong ipahiwatig sa lahat ng tao, yung pong 5 pirasong santol, hindi po yung considered lagay. So, nung in-inform po si Ian Esguera na kailangan niyang magbigay ng konting padulas para mag-move up dun sa aking schedule, nagpadala po ng 5 pirasong santol. Wala man lang asin. Kaya hindi po siya he was not given the privilege pero namilit eh. He forced his way into my schedule, and what can I do? It is what it is. When you're ransomed by this man, what can you do?
Magpapadala ako ng buhay na manok 2 at saka isang plastic ng kamyas na bagong pitas. Pwede bang karagdagan niyan? Okay.
Yeah, pwede.
Si Alan, by the way, siya yung pinaka hindi sikat dun sa foursome nila sa isang programa. Siya yung hindi masyadong sikat dun eh. Kasi siya yung pinaka dry ang personality ron. Sila ni Ronald Llamas. Ayan.
Very reserved, quiet.
Okay. Alan, sige. Finally, na-solo na kita kasi ito yung pag-uusapan natin. No? You've been all over the place. Pero siguro, after several days, mas maganda nang balikan yung naging resulta nitong May 12, 2025 midterm elections. Unahin natin dito sa mga artista. Why do you think some celebrities won and others lost?
Okay, so the formula, ito na naman ako sa formula, no?
Go ahead.
Siguro tandaan natin na ang electoral formula ay awareness to choice. So, talaga nag-uumpisa yan sa awareness. So, merong inherent advantage ang mga celebrities dahil hindi mo na kailangan yung tinatawag na double hurdle. Dalawa yung kailangan mong talunan bago ka manalo. Una, magbi-build ka ng awareness, tapos kailangan, pag alam na nila or kakilala ka na nila, you will have to engage them to choose you. Pag celebrity ka, hindi mo na kailangan yung first hurdle dahil may awareness ka na, alam na ng tao at sino ka. Choice na lang. Ang pinaka-frustration ng mga elitista at mga intellectual snob tulad ni Ian Esguera, dati,
Ronald Llamas.
Ronald Llamas ay napaka-baba ng standards natin in that all-important jump from awareness to choice. Ang nangyayari sa atin dati sa Pilipinas, pag aware na ako sa isang tao, sapat na yon. Kakilala ko siya, iboboto ko siya. Yung TC, yung to choice na portion, our standards are not that high or we're not that discerning na awareness was enough. So siguro ang nangyari this election is naging equally, maybe not equally, let's not kid ourselves, but at least humabol yung choice quadrant. Humabol siya. So hindi lang awareness, kakilala ko to, pero sino ba to? Bakit ko siya dapat piliin? So maybe a linguistic lesson is due for our Faxnatics, no. Di ba ano bang silver? Di ba plata? Di ba plata? The silver lining. So yung nadagdagan ng silver lining, plata. So hindi na lamang puro forma, naging plataforma ang siguro hinahanap ng mga tao ngayon. It's awareness plus popularity plus So whatever that plus is, it's now awareness plus substance, awareness plus track record, maybe awareness plus maybe qualifications, pero nagkaroon na ng plus. Maybe little by little. Huwag naman tayo magbulahan. Hindi naman marami pa ring artistang nanalo. At hindi ko po sinasabi na porket artista ka, hindi ka qualified na tumakbo bilang public servant. Hindi po 'yun ang sinasabi ko. Definitely I'm not the guy to say that. I have a lot of friends who came from the celebrity world at nag-transition to public office. May hinawakan din po ako. Hindi ako magpapaka-plastic. May hinawakan din po ako na dating artista na naging excellent public servants. Pero siguro yan ang naging formula this election. People are looking for that plus.
Okay. May mga nakikita akong memes or comments sa social media. Sinasabi nila, nagpapasalamat sila kay Robin Padilla. Dahil daw kay Robin, na-realize sa mga botante, hindi nila dapat iboto yung ibang mga artista tulad ni Philip Salvador, Willie Revillame. Is there truth to that sa iyong karanasan bilang isang campaign strategist?
We will never have the benefit. Unfortunately, we will never have the benefit of being able to put a number to that. Hindi po natin malalagyan ng eksaktong numero yan, siyensya. I don't think there will ever be how would you even go about doing a study like that. Pero just the psychographics, nako, puro na naman ako profound. Buti na lang walang live comments. Kasi I'm sure marami nang umuupak. Kaya na si Arneo, di ba?
Mamaya sasagutin natin yan.
Yung psychographics kasi ng Filipino voter, alam mo, we are more averse to bad examples rather than good ones. Actually, ganun ang Pinoy. It's hindi naman katakataka yan. I'm not saying this with disdain or minamaliit ko ang Pilipino, pero human experience yan. Pag meron kang na-experience na masama, ipopost mo yan sa Facebook or sa social media mo. Ang sama ng service sa restaurant na to, blah, blah, blah. Bis na 3 manok, isa lang yung binigay. Yung kanin, malamig. You're gonna post your negative experiences. But if you have an exceptional experience, it's not likely that you will post it. You know, my order came complete, the service was fast, the food was warm. Hindi mo naman ipopostin eh. Talagang we're drawn to the negative aspect. So, with that as backdrop, isipin natin, again, anecdotally, sa tingin ko, oo, malaki yung effect nun. Kasi, siguro siya yung poster boy ng pagiging popular sa Pilipinas. Grabe, kung titignan mo yung datos nung huling eleksyon, 7 out of 10 Filipinos binoto si Robin Hood Padilla. Close to 7 out of 10. Kahit anong jeep ang sakyan mo, kung 10 tao yan, 7 doon bumoto kay Robin Padilla ayon sa datos. Pumunta ka sa grocery, may 10 tao, 7 doon bumoto kay Robin Padilla. So, his perceived, being very kind, Ian, his perceived non-performance in the Senate became a deterrent. Filipino voters are very, very conscious about deterrence. Ganyan din ang nangyayari sa political dynasty, by the way. Pag yung tatay hindi nag-perform, magsasuffer yung anak. Pag yung asawa hindi nag-perform or may ginawang katiwalian, nagsasuffer yung anak. So, yes, we are prone to that, and perhaps Robin Padilla was the perfect word really is, became a deterrent, a strong deterrent.
In terms of Robin Padilla's perceived non-performance or incompetence, mukha bang ang tinamaan yan sa lahat ng mga artistang tumakbo sa pagka-senador si Philip Salvador kasi siya talagang kadikit in terms of campaigning?
You know what? I would disagree with you there. Honestly, I would disagree with you there. I think ang pinaka-tinamaan dito, for me, the closest analog of a Robin Padilla would probably be a Bong Revilla. I would probably think it's Bong Revilla who suffered the most from this celebrity aversion. Dahil si Philip Salvador, let's face it, wild card naman talaga. From the start, nobody really legitimately, probably really in their heart of hearts, expected him to make it to the Senate. No offense to Mr. Epectivo, who by the way had the best jingle among all of the candidates last election. My God, I can't get that guy's jingle out of my head.
Ano ba yung Macho Man? Macho Man.
Mr. Epectivo.
Hmm.
Pero hindi ko na gagawin yung sayaw. Let's not talk about the accompanying dance, no? Kasi yun,
Ang galing
hanggang ngayon, nananaginip pa rin ako sa gabi pag nakikita ko yun sa isip ko.
Hindi ba bangungot?
Pinapawisan ako ng malamig. Kailangan ko uminom ng tubig.
Yung parang kailangan kagatin yung daliri mo sa paa para magising ka.
Yun gano'n. Mismo. Nagaganon
Okay.
ako pag naalala ko yung sayaw. But the jingle was exceptional. I would think it's Bong Revilla who actually suffered the most in terms of that deterrent, celebrity deterrent backlash. Dahil si Bong Revilla, my gosh, mainstay sa Senado, parating nandyan yan. And he was relying mostly on his celebrity to carry him through. Now, whether or not he mirrored the perceived non-performance of Robin Padilla, siguro hindi na ako magko-comment dyan. Mahirap na, madalas ako sa Cavite.
Okay. I think in previous discussions, nabanggit mo yung master stroke ng campaign team ni Bong Revilla. Nung huling tumakbo siya before 2022, no, medyo mukhang lumalabo yung chances niya, nagbudots na lang. Dito nagbudots siya uli eh. Feeling ko mas maganda pa nga yung choreography. Bakit umubra yung budots noon pero hindi umubra yung budots ngayon kay Bong Revilla?
That's a great and leading question, no? Talagang dinadala ako ni Ian sa bingit ng talagang he's bringing me to the line of fire. So siguro that will be an indication, sabihin natin an indication of the maturing voter perhaps the voter is looking for something more substantial. But here's the thing, as you repeatedly pointed out, paulit-ulit mo nang sinabi to, Ian, sinubukan niya this year na nalagyan ng substance yung pagbubudots niya. So nagbubudots siya, and then in between the budots, merong mga graphics, merong mga pinasa ang batas na ganito. Yung posters niya, di ba? Pa rin, action star pa rin. Action sa totoong buhay. Tapos nilagay yung mga what they consider achievements of the former senator. But dito siguro pumapasok yung reason to believe or RTB. Siguro iniisip ng tao, inauthentic, budots pa rin yan. At the end of the day, bumudots lang yan. You can't fit a square peg, a round shape into a square hole. So siguro iniisip nila, there's that inauthenticity dahil pilit eh. Budots, sinubukan lagyan ng substance, the reason to believe probably did not catch on. Hindi ko sinasabing things would have been different kung pure budots lang yung ginawa niya. Hindi natin alam. Pero seems to have worked for Philip Salvador, right? Speaking of Philip Salvador, walang ibang ginawa yun kundi sumayaw at ang tanging campaign speech niya ay bring him home.
Meron pa, ako'y artista lang. Yung medyo mangiyak-ngayak. Reprising his best actor roles, di ba?
Yes. Hey, Philip Salvador, man. The actor of our youth. Grabe, sila ni The Boy. Grabe.
Actor of your youth, mas bata pa naman ako. Mga panahon nila, sa inyo
Pancho
yata.
Magalona yung mga Yung mga Zaldi Zornak, Pancho Magalona, yan. Boyet Orca, yan ang mga
Buhaya. Sino Buhaya? Paborito natin.
Correct.
Okay. Sige. Bakit nakalusot si Lito Lapid? Napakatahimik. Ang joke nga ng mga nakakausap ko, ay, senador pala yan. Hindi kasi namin na-realize until tumatakbo.
Not even a joke for me, di ba? Siguro Lito Lapid benefited from two things. He probably benefited from muscle memory. Na lang talaga, parang every time nakikita yung Lapid, sineshade. Naging habit, di ba? Naging habit, yung almost an involuntary action. Pag ang Pilipino dumadaan sa simbahan, nagsa-sign of the cross. Pag nakakita sila ng boto, ng balot, sineshade yung Lapid. That's one, I'm not even joking, that's probably a phenomenon.
Sorry, natawa ako sa muscle memory, honestly.
Muscle memory talaga yan. Lapid, shade. That's one. Number two, I honestly think he benefited from being right in the middle. He was not controversial, hindi naman siya committed de silencio, di ba? Hindi naman bangayan with the Dutertes or the Marcoses. He was part of the slate pero very quiet. So I think fill-up rate also has something to do with it dahil at the end of the day, pag in passion voter ka, bobotohin mo yung mga talagang gusto mo, tapos pag meron pang blanco, sasabihin mo, o sige, sama na rin si Lito Lapid.
Okay. Ito si Manny Pacquiao. Napag-usapan natin to ng konti last Monday pero talagang busy dyan si Alan eh. Okay. Zen moment. Okay.
Zen moment
Ito,
for me.
sa kaalaman ng mga viewers natin, si Manny Pacquiao, a lot of people were expecting him to win. Not exactly parang walk in the park, pero papasok naman, di ba? Pero number 18 siya with 10.3 million votes. Mas marami pa sa kanya si Jimmy Bondoc. Let me be the one.
Correct.
So what happened kay Manny Pacquiao?
Okay, I've said this many times before, but I think Manny Pacquiao's major problem is a messaging and branding problem. Again, he made a life decision. Ewan ko kung ano na yan, naging life decision niya yan, or baka meron siyang deep-rooted insecurities. Never niya ni-leverage yung pagiging pambansang kamao, 8th Division World Champion at Filipino icon niya. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Nung tumakbo siyang Pangulo, ginawa niya yung sarili niyang isang man of destiny, nag-kurbata, nag-Amerikana, tapos nasa podium. Hindi ko maintindihan ba't niya ginawa yun, man of destiny. This election, number one, hindi na kampanya. Hindi na naman nilabas yung mga iconic phrases niya. But then, towards the end of his campaign, naglabas ng commercial na bobo siya.
Oo.
Nakakala ng maraming tao, joke. Ako, nung nakita ko yun, sabi ko, kawawa naman si Manny Pacquiao. They did him dirty. Dinip fake. Yung pala totoo. Ako ay isang
Galing sa
bobo.
kanya.
Kaya ibalik ang bobo sa Senado. Saan ka nakarinig ng kampanyang ganyan, Ian? Sa buong buhay ko, hindi ko akalain magkakaroon ka ng kampanyang ganyan. A big portion of his crushing loss was also because Mindanao felt that he betrayed them. Beloved son of Mindanao. Beloved son of Mindanao. Tapos biglang sumali sa alyansa. So nagkaroon ng protest rejection vote of Manny Pacquiao, which is his a big base. And number 3, I think that he was distracted. He was running for Senate. He had 2 party lists to attend to, di ba? Meron siyang 2 party list na inaatupag. I think he also had some local candidates.
Yung
diba?
kapatid yata, governor, di ba?
Governor, tapos tingin ko distracted siya. Ikaw ba may nakita kang ads ni Pacquiao before that bobo ad?
Ako wala, honestly. Sa social media.
Ako rin. So, and I mean, that's, I keep a close watch. You'd have to imagine that our office keeps a close monitoring of these things. And we didn't see anything. Kasi meron kaming control. Meron kaming control computer na hindi nakatutok sa kahit na anong kandidato. Kung ano lang talaga yung pinaka-pinupush ng algorithm, walang Pacquiao na lumabas. Yung bobo lang. So imagine you're gonna run one ad and it's the bobo ad. That really transcends reason. Kung meron silang nalalaman na hindi ko alam, more power to them, but I don't think it worked.
Is there a way to salvage this image problem? Or branding
Well, he's going to fight. Meron siyang upcoming fight, di ba?
si Mario Barrios.
Mario Barrios. Tignan natin if he will revert back to the old MP Manny Pacquiao kneeling in his corner, carrying the Philippines proud. That's the only possible way he can probably recover some of that political capital. Pero sa tingin ko, medyo, sa akin lang too late. At Father Time is undefeated. Tignan natin. Kasi para sa mga kabataan na hindi nakita si Manny Pacquiao in his prime, he was a sight to behold. talagang a wonder to behold.
Tasmanian
Ano yan?
Devil in the ring.
Iba. Talagang God smiles when Manny Pacquiao boxes in his prime. So, kung ngayon makikita natin yung diluted, medyo slowed down, aged Pacquiao, as a boxing fanatic, baka I will feel bad. And in terms of political capital, baka yun na yung image na mag-stick. So,
I agree.
mahihirapan siya makabalik dun sa dating lofty perch niya.
Tsaka yung timing. Kung sana lumaban siya before elections.
Before
Kasi
elections.
after, anong value nito for him? Di ba?
Wala na.
Unless ma-reprise, hindi rin Miski i-reprise na yung old Bernard Hopkins, pero as a boxing fan, para tayong boxing fan, magkaiba sila ng style, no? At iba yung
Executioner.
preservation ni Bernard Hopkins. I think he was the oldest world champion, tama ba? At 46,
Yes,
47.
kasi naka-Philly shell lang si Bernard Hopkins eh.
Yeah.
'Di ba? Counter puncher eh, 'di ba? Philly shell, shoulder roll, tapos tsaka uupak. So Manny Pacquiao's style was never that. And perhaps a good indication, and by no means is this a criticism or I'm not talking down at the party list. Mga kaibigan ko yan. Since hindi lang kaibigan, matalik na kaibigan ko. But siguro an indication that the Pacquiao brand has really dipped is the party list named after him, Juan Pacman, which is a mainstay mainstay ever since tinatag yung Juan Pacman, meron silang seat sa party list. This year natalo sila, so perhaps it's an indication na the name is losing its luster. Yeah.
Speaking of yung mga celebrities, ang dami ring mga party list na natalo na ang lalaki ng mga endorsers ng mga celebrities.
Grabe. Yan talaga. Honestly, mas na gulat, mas na yanig. Napakapit ako sa silya.
Talaga?
Tapos yung mga aso gumanon. Doon lumabas yung party list result. Lalo yung Akbayan na nag-number 1. Lalo yung Akbayan nag-number 1 dahil alam kong talagang talagang igogloat sa atin ni Ronald Llamas yan. So hinanda ako na yung sarili ko, sabi ko patay. Ronald Llamas will be the gloater for maybe a month. But the party list elections was really wild because gaya na nasabi mo, grabe yung mga endorsers, grabe yung ad spend, grabe yung mga ginawang efforts ng ibang party list groups. Hindi nakapasok. Ang mga nakapasok, Akbayan, Duterte Youth, na wala yatang celebrity endorser yung Duterte Youth eh. Yung BBM party list, oh my goodness, had Tony Gonzaga all over the place. Wala, talo. Provinciano ako party list, Kim Chu. And their so-called, allegedly, merong pink wave na nagre-research. Si Kim Chu na, si Chinita Princess na yon, na kilalang pink supporter. Hindi pa, and one of the top celebrities in the country, hindi pa rin nanalo yung Provinciano ako party list. So I don't know now. It really shook the way I will conduct future party list campaigns.
Diba, speaking of the pink wave, no? Ito kasi yung parang common narrative because of the results in the senatorial at saka sa party list. Number 2 si Bam, number 5 si Kiko, pumasok yung ML, pumasok yung Akbayan. Is that really the case sa analysis mo, Alan? Na talagang nagkaroon ng resurgence ng pink wave? Or baka naman there's something else?
Well, the pink wave was always a base. I believe that it never waned. I believe that, in fact, meron tayong tinatawag na anchor of longing. Watch the Arnian do it again, right? Sumama kasi yung loob ng mga pinks na nag-attend ng lahat ng rally, na talagang poured their heart and soul, tinaya ang buong puso dun sa Lenny campaign, and who felt so crushed. Kasi that Lenny campaign was something else. That was really Camelot. Manalo, matalo, I think grudgingly, kahit hardcore Marcos or Duterte fanatic ka, you will have to grudgingly say, iba yung energy na na-generate ng Lenny campaign. So may anchor of longing pa rin. Parang, what's our next crusade? Ang mga pinks naghahanap ng crusade. So, I think that was a solid base. Pero definitely, wag naman tayong maglokohan. nag-benefit yan dun sa phenomenon na the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Kasi yung mga Marcos, pro-Marcos, binoto nila si Kiko at si Bam dahil ang perception kay Kiko at kay Bam, anti-Duterte. Yung mga Duterte naman, binoto si Kiko at si Bam dahil ang perception sa kanila, anti-Marcos. So, nag-benefit.
So, tama yung strategy nila na parang will stay in the middle during the campaign, di ba? They never describe themselves as opposition. Sinabi nila, issue-based kami, di ba? So, tama yung ganung positioning.
Issue-based talaga. Again, the time for it yung tinatawag ni Ronald Llamas na perfect storm, Nax. I will give credit. I will give the quote where I will credit the original the original source of that quote, no. Sabi ni Ronald Llamas, perfect storm. Tama siya. Kasi again, naka-benefit sila dun sa suya factor. So yung suya ang Pilipino, Marcos Duterte na lang ba? Araw-araw nag-aaway na lang yung mga yan, one-upmanship, ano bang may impeachment, meron dinala sa The Hague, merong pulburon video, it was just one after the other, love. So yung nasa gitna, nakakasuya. So they benefited from that. Number two, again, and I've said this many times before, in this program, inabisuhan ko ang mga kandidato, stick to 5 core issues. Gut issues, tama na yung inspire messaging. Pag-usapan ninyo yung ADLs, acts of daily living, issues that affect acts of daily living. Aba, tama nga. Pati si Marcoleta nakapasok dahil ang pinag-usapan niya, kuryente.
Oo, yung pag kumukonsumo ka ng below 2,000.
Oo, so talagang lumalabas dito sa sa Senate. It was a protest vote, pero pragmatic vote din siya. Bumoto yung mga tao based on pragmatism.
So mukhang gumana yung JPE formula dito kay Marcoleta.
Absolutely. Diba? What a great formula that is. One that I'm intimately familiar with, by the way. One nail messaging.
Magaling yung
one nail messaging. Well, I will neither confirm nor deny, but that's what you call one nail messaging.
Alan, meron pala ako may napapansin pala ako.
Ano?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Kailangan merong pregnant pause, no? Hindi kasi minsan pag namamonitor ko yung ilang mga comment ng ilang mga analyst, parang nare-realize ko habang nagmamaneho ko sa aking Cadillac. Sa aking Maybach.
Okay. Lamborghini. Sa iyong Lamborghini. Ferrari.
Di habang minamandahan ko yung driver ko sa likod ng aking owner type Jeep. Sabi ko, Kuya, pakilakasan nga yung Pioneer na radyo natin, na manual.
Correct.
May nadidinig ako analysis. Sabi ko, parang nadinig ko na to, no? Parang ito yung laging binabanggit ni Alan Herman tungkol sa branding, messaging. Sabi ko, parang nakokopya si Alan dito ng ilang mga analyst. Dapat siya kinokode siya. Ilang naman, no? Napapansin ko lang.
Alam mo, sa totoo lang, padala mo nga sa akin yung mga link. Kasi I honestly, well, it is what it is. What can you do? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Pero ako mas interested ako dun sa by the way, it's not owner yung sinasabi ni Ian.
Ano ba dapat?
Ito tatanggalan ko na to ng Jologs card. Talagang ito dapat sinistrip na to. It's not owner, it's owner. Yung owner Jeep, owner, beep owner Jeep.
Sorry.
Tapos yung Pioneer stereo ni Ian, kaya yan medyo angat dahil merong Alpine equalizer. Tapos naka-V.
Tama. Tapos yung
niya naka-V.
Tsaka yung frame niyan minsan tanggal. So kita mo yung skeleton.
Correct. High-end yun. Pag gano'n, wala. Matinding owner yan.
Ba't alam mo yan, Alan? Erniean ka. Ako alam ko, nakikita ko yan eh.
Tapos may subwoofer. Yan. Subwoofer sa likod, tapos tweeter dun sa may dalawang tweeter sa windshield. Yan.
Tapos pag umulan, ibababa mo yung trapal pag maulan na.
Yan.
Okay. Pero nga, seriously, nadidinig ko yung mga analysis mo dun sa ibang mga analysts. Sabi ko, nadidinig ko na kay Alan to, Pero inisip ko, mas credible naman yata kung ang nagsabi si Alan kasi siya yung campaign strategist. Ito nagsabi, armchair to eh.
Actually, Honestly, I love that the distinction is being made. Kasi dati, ano yan it was a struggle for me. Dahil na ako mismo yung na nakikringe. Dahil ang ano sa akin, political analyst. Hindi po ako political analyst, hindi ko po pinag-aralan yan, hindi ako poli-sci, hindi po ako professor. Yan, natawag akong professor ni Nina Corpus tsaka ni Jack Batallones. Hindi
Okay
po
na
ako
yun.
nagpapanggap. Hindi po ako nagpapanggap. I run campaigns. Saan po ako nag-aral? Sa US, sa University of the Streets, tsaka sa UE, University of Experience. So, the only knowledge base I have is really running campaigns since 2007, being actively involved sa mga kampanya since 2007. So hindi po ako tenured professor or wala po akong academic papers na na-publish. Wala po.
So, Professor Alan, puntahan natin to. Ang daming clarification, din yung bagsak, no? Hindi, pero yung mga analysis mo, nakita ko, kinokopya ng ilang mga professor, Hindi, siguro hindi kinopya.
Paano mo sa akin?
Baka naman in passing lang, no? Baka naman I'm being presumptuous, no? Baka naman mag-comment. Sa bagay, pag may nag-comment nito, ibig sabihin tinablang kayo.
Correct.
Yun naman yung trap nitong ganitong conversation, no? Okay, alam ko busy ka, no? Konting-konti na lang. Surprise ba na talaga bang big surprise na nag-number 2 tong si Bam Aquino at pumasok si Kiko?
I was okay. In all honesty, Senator Bam, Senator Kiko, magandang araw. Alam ko nanonood kayo. In all honesty, I expected Senator Bam. I had him at number 6. I thought he was going to finish number 6. Alam po ng mga kinauukulan na sincero po ako. Hindi po ako talking with the benefit of hindsight dahil madali magsalita pag nandiyan na di ba? Pero in all honesty po, I thought he was gonna finish 6. So, na nag-number 2 siya, yon surprising sa akin yon. Nagulat ako doon. Senator Kiko, I was just being very, very honest. Akala ko, delikado siya sa 12th spot. Iniisip ko baka 50-50 to kung pasok o hindi. So the fact that he finished in the top 5, that was amazing, and congrats to the team, Tito George, Mishi. Good job.
Etong si Ping tsaka si Tito, lagi magkadikit ito, talaga magkaibigan. Pero nasa 7th and 8th places sila. Tingin ko, sa survey naman medyo bumababa rin, Pero is there anything surprising about this?
Well, number one, I think it was again that anti-alyansa vote that really perhaps held them back. Nagsalita na si Toby Tiangco tungkol dyan na measure daw nila na talagang nagkaroon ng backlash against the alyansa dahil dun sa impeachment at mas lalo na dahil dun sa pagdala kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa The Hague. Nanggaling na mismo yan sa campaign manager ng alyansa na nabawasan, matindi ang bawas sa numero ng mga kandidato dahil dyan. Si Senator Ping at si Senator Tito, tandaan natin, fully formed, fully developed political personalities yan. Kumbaga, nilagyan lang yan ng sticker. Nilagyan mo lang yan ng sticker na alyansa. But that's just a sticker label. They're not really alyansa developed. Meron silang sariling persona. So I think nakabawas pa yung pagiging membro nila ng alyansa.
Talaga? So kung nag-independent pala yan, baka mas okay pa?
Baka mas okay pa, honestly. At again, I'm not saying anything na hindi po sinabi ng mismong campaign manager ng alyansa na si Toby Tiangco. Nung sinabi niya na talagang kamot ulo siya, bakit in-impeach si VP Inday Sara at kamot ulo siya 2 beses nung dinala sa The Hague si Pangulong Duterte, dating Pangulong Duterte.
Okay. So Erwin lumusot pero si Bitag hindi. How do you explain that?
That's a very, very common phenomenon. Ang Pinoy voter and even the Pinoy consumer. Huwag na nating i-consider yung Pinoy as a voter. Consider natin yung Pinoy as a consumer. Meron tayong threshold sa isang brand. Parang hindi ko na kailangan iboto si Ben dahil binoto ko na si Erwin. Hindi ko na kailangan iboto si Wanda Tulfo bilang party list representative dahil binoto ko na si Erwin. So it's that. Even as a consumer, pag bumili ka halimbawa ng Palmolive soap, Palmolive conditioner, siguro yung shampoo mo iibahin mo. Dove naman kasi puro Palmolive na to. As a consumer, there's that psychology of a threshold. Kaya hindi na nanalo. Kaya again, it's sadly, ewan ko ba't dito napunta, mababasya ko. Maha-Heidi Mendoza ako nito eh. Sadly, that's even in gender and sex, that is a phenomenon. So mahirap makaisip ng senaryo na ang Pangulo babae, ang Vice Presidente babae. Hindi pa yata handa ang Filipino voters for that. Ewan ko ba't napunta sa sex and gender. Pero it's sort of in the same vein that I will vote for one female as a top executive, but only one. So I will vote for Tulfo, but only one.
Kasi dito many thought that the Tulfos would define that convention because of their high ranking sa
Strong brand. Oo,
survey,
pero hindi
diba?
eh.
Tsaka strong brand.
Hindi eh. Psychology is sovereign. Psychographics are sovereign. And again, ay nako, na magiging na talaga ako eh. Kailangan talagang magsuot na ako ng armor eh. Dahil ako talaga yung nagiging sundalo at defender ng mga survey. Hindi ko maintindihan bakit ang survey firms ngayon ang naging favorite whipping boy, inuupakan ng mga Pilipino. Wag ganyan. Wag ganyan, Philippines. Wag ganyan. That's why we can't have nice things. Ano ba talaga? Make up your minds. Pag accurate yung survey, sinasabi ninyo na mind condition. Kasi mind conditioning yan eh. Kaya ganyan, tinan mo, dikit na dikit. Kung ano yung lumabas sa survey, yun din ang lumabas sa eleksyon. Kasi na mind condition, mga evil survey firms. Galit tayo. Pero kung malayo, kita mo walang kwenta ang survey. Ang layo ng naging ang layo ng naging resulta. Walang kwenta yung mga survey na yan. Make up your mind, Philippines. Surveys are a very effective tool. This is a data point in time. Hindi po yan forecast. Si Prof. Ronnie Holmes po, ang SWS, ang Okta, hindi po sila si Madam Auring. Hindi po sila mga fortune tellers na sasabihin kung sino ang mananalo in the future. Data point in time po ito. Kahit sa ordinary, kahit sa mga economic students na nag-aral ng basic forecasting, ordinary least squares, data point lang po ang survey. It is a snapshot in a certain point of time, not meant to forecast actual election results. So, hindi ko maintindihan ba't yung mga tao naglabasan na ng mga labahan, ng mga itak, ng mga naglabasan na ng mga batong buhay. Sulo. Tapos susugurin na yung mga survey firms. Hindi ko maintindihan ba't ganyan. Wag ganyan. Yun lang po.
Alan, na-predict mo actually at na-forecast mo yung huli kong question at sinagot mo na siya about surveys. Thank you for joining us.
Baka ako si Madam Auring. Maraming salamat, Ian. At
kasulat yan. Sabi ko, last issue, survey. Na-predict mo.
Na-predict ko. See, maybe I'm the predictor.
Sige, maraming salamat, Alan. Alam ko, busy ka ngayon. Magbibisi ka pa dahil papalitan mo yung t-shirt mo na mamahalin ng mas makamasa. Tama?
Yan mismo. Alam mo naman tayo, strike anywhere tayo eh. Kaya yung mga magko-comment na Arneo, sige na, pagbigyan ko na. Pero sumusubo po ng kaning lamig ito.
Yan. Okay. Alan, maraming salamat Mr. Alan Herman. Nakasama po natin ngayong gabi, ngayong araw. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ian. Salamat pa. Ay, teka. Pahabol. Mabati pala ako. Ay, nako. Ang aking minamahal na tito at tita, si Aning and Helen Cornejo. Thank you for always watching Fox First and being avid Fox Natics. Tito Aning, Tita Helen Cornejo, thank you very much. I didn't realize you were such avid Fox First Tonight fans. So, magandang araw po sa inyo.
Tita Aning and,
Helen Cornejo.
Okay.
No, si Tito Aning at si Tita Helen Cornejo.
Tita Helen. Maraming salamat po for watching. Thank you po. Thank
you. Thank you. Salamat. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yan po si Alan the Man Herman. Okay? Sige po, abangan nyo. Meron pa tayong isang episode ngayong araw, ngayong gabi. In the meantime, magpapaalam po muna tayo. Ako po si Christian Esguera. Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat.